That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
It's crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
Welcome back to Camp Strange, Strangers. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're back with the spooky stories, and the weird, and the strange, and the wacky, and the creepy, and the, I don't know, everything.
Sometimes a little horny.
It's always a little horny.
There's always a little bit of horn in there.
If you're listening to this car, in this car, if you're listening to this in your car with your kids, you know, just...
I don't think anybody listens to this in the car with their kids. I wonder what our youngest listener is.
I don't know, David. Why are you wondering that?
No, I'm just curious. Because we have the whole, parental advisory thing, don't we?
Yeah, we do. But I just watched the half of that Michael Jackson documentary, and it's really hard to watch the other half right now. I have not got the courage to watch the second half. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've watched all of it.
Oh my god, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's
The second half it's rough, but it's not as much, I feel like, as the first one, kind of, because the second half is them as adults.
Okay, and legal battle stuff. I don't want to get into it.
I'm not trying to spoil stuff, but it's more of the two main focused kids dealing with what happened in their adult life.
Okay. Yeah. But he kind of ruined Santa Barbara for me because I didn't know it was in Santa Barbara.
Yeah,
I thought it was way further away, but
see, I always thought it was outside of LA.
It is. Yeah, Santa Barbara's. What are you talking about?
I meant close, not
Oh, I thought it was in the Midwest. Yeah,
the Neverland Ranch.
Yeah,
I always assumed that it was kind of out towards I don't know, the desert or something.
Oh no, well I knew there was grass and Ferris wheels. He ruined ranches. He ruined Ferris wheels. He ruined chimpanzees.
He ruined everything.
God, see, now we're kind of in that weird spot where do they now, next time you go to a club or a bar or something and they put on a Michael Jackson song, look around. It's probably them putting on an R. Kelly song right now, where it's
it's hard to listen to Michael Jackson.
Mixed reactions where you look around and some people will be dancing and then some people will be looking at each other and talking and being should we? It's kind of a weird situation.
Yeah, it's awful because he was one of the greatest musicians of all time and he has countless hits, but. Yeah, we should stop listening to it.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Oh, man. The recordings of, the voicemails he left the kids are just
hey, send me another fax.
Who
sends faxes?
Well...
He's 7. I don't know how to send a fax. I'm 27 years old.
It's because we don't need to send faxes.
True, I guess. I don't
Fax.
know. Anyway, let's get into these. I have a weird news story for you.
Yep.
And you know what? It's not in Florida this time.
Okay.
This one goes all the way across the pond to England, and Englanders, I'm blaming you for this one, but it's actually kind of a cool but very weird story. So in the UK, England specifically, prisons, they were finding dead rats around the perimeter of the prisons, and some of them actually made it into the prison walls or in the yard. Okay, and the staff were patrolling, and they're picking up these rats, and they were noticing that their stomachs were stitched up. Yeah, so they started picking them up, and, they got their little scalpel out, and they went back to, 9th grade science class.
You sure they didn't just mash it?
They didn't mash anything. They got, maybe they mashed it, but they said they cut them, because they wanted to see what was inside, and what they found was that people were putting... objects, not just drugs. They're putting objects in these rats and throwing them over for contraband. And what they found in the ones that they found were 5 mobile phones and 5 chargers, 3 SIM cards, cigarette papers, and drugs including cannabis and spice.
Okay, I remember spice.
I don't know spice.
Yeah, spice was weird.
Sugar, spice, and a little dead rat. But what is spice?
Spice was a chemical thing that they made.
Oh, it's fake weed, isn't it?
Yeah, it was synthetic weed.
That was killing people, wasn't it?
I don't think it was killing people. It could have.
I don't know.
But yeah, I heard very strange things about that and how it was just a very weird thing.
Regardless, it's pretty disturbing.
Because spice didn't show up on drug tests.
It looks like these pills over here that they got some pills in here too, and they're blue. I don't know what they are.
Well, what it was
Viagra?
So spice Spice didn't show up in drug tests, and it was really big when I was doing sports in college.
Oh.
And so all of the athletes were smoking Spice.
Oh, Jesus.
And from what I heard, it was like not a thing that was very fun. So it didn't last very long, but it was more like, I don't know what you could compare it to.
I don't know.
But it was kind of.
I've never done.
I wonder if it even. So apparently it still exists. When did that come out?
I have to. Oh, March today? No, yeah, today.
Damn. Because I mean, you could buy it at like just like smoke shops, like cigarette stores.
Well, maybe they don't want to throw the good stuff into the prisoners, so like you guys get the Spice, and we'll throw you like a little bit of weed. But
I mean,
like,
fuck, if I was in prison, I'd spark up some Spice.
Well, I mean, it looks like they got some Nokias that they threw in, so I mean, they're not giving them the cream of the crop.
Not a Razor phone.
It wasn't a Razor. They used the Razor phones to cut open the rats, but the Nokias. But if you want an indestructible phone, you want to put in a rat and then throw over a fence. Like you want a Nokia, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, if you don't got the apps, what's the point of a phone in prison? Do you really want to call people that bad?
Well, I think the SIM cards. Maybe there's something good on the SIM card. You're not even gonna get good picture quality at that point. Okay, I don't know why, but you know, in the what is it, in the land of the one-eyed man, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man rules. So
yeah,
if you got a cell phone at all, at least you're doing something right.
Someone could describe memes to you.
Yeah, they could play what's that game? Pong? Not Pong, but what's the
Snake?
Brick Breaker and Snake.
Oh,
Those were the good ones. But so if look out for any rats you find.
I need to reevaluate my size of rats in my mind. You can fit a fucking phone in that
Well,
thing?
I mean they're not like, huge phones. They're tiny phones, but I'm just going to say if you find any dead rats around your house, maybe cut them open, see if there's anything good inside.
Yeah, cut them open, dig around, see what happens.
Especially if you're in the UK, go check them out. Home of the Pinata Rat, and it's a fun time. So oh my god, they got some graphic pictures in here, man.
Yeesh.
Wowie kazowie. Okay, anyway. Oh wait, it also says criminals have previously used tennis balls and pigeons to try to smuggle contraband over prison fences. That's cool.
Tennis ball makes more sense.
Yeah, but they're bright yellow.
Not with a Sharpie, dog.
And then pigeon, we're getting back into what's it called? That lady that lit up that whole city, Olga. Remember, she lit up the whole city with the pigeons. So.
Yeah,
pigeons are great.
Yeah.
So, what do you got?
So we got a headline here: naked Russian man tries to board plane, claiming to be more aerodynamic.
He's not wrong,
but is he right?
He's definitely right, and I don't know how far. I don't know where to start with this guy. He seems like he's an idea man. He's an idea man.
He's got loads of ideas,
but he has to know that he's not on the outside of the plane as well. So
he might be. This is Russia.
He could argue that he's lighter for the plane. So
should check. Do we have any listeners in Russia? Can we dunk on Russia? Do we have any Russian?
We don't have any listeners in Russia.
All right, we're not gonna dunk on them.
But I don't know. I feel like the planes are made out of like tin can material. I just watched a little documentary.
I have flown into Russia on a real plane. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. They got them real planes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I need a lot more details about this guy, and hopefully they let him just fly,
Yeah, they didn't.
If you could bring your dog on the plane, I'm allowed to be naked on the plane. That's the deal.
I mean, what if you get on the plane and then you decide to strip down and then go sit in your seat naked? What are they going to do?
I'm not bothering anyone.
Yeah. Are they going to land it?
They will turn around. They do that quite often, I think.
God. All right, so my next one is Kareem Hunt, Kareem Hunt is a running back in the NFL, and he has been suspended, I believe, 8 games in the upcoming season for a video released of him assaulting a woman in a hotel lobby.
Oh, no.
And so, just so it makes more sense. So Kareem Hunt, sensitivity training will be led by former NFL players Ray Lewis and Michael Vick.
Okay. I don't know much about football, but I know those are two names that are associated with controversy.
Yes. So Michael Vick famously was one of the most athletic players of all time, had a very bright future, and then it turned out he was having dog fights on his property.
And then we have
Ray Lewis,
who was accused of a
straight up killed someone.
And then didn't they find his bloody suit in a dumpster?
Yeah, something like that. And then he allegedly, which everybody's like, yeah, it fucking happened. He basically paid off his friend to take the fall, and then just like paid his family like a shit ton of money.
I was about to say sometimes that happens.
They stabbed a guy outside of a club.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, because I heard about that with like Jay-Z. I'm not claiming anything, but I heard he like paid somebody a bunch of money. He's like my like I heard in a song. He's like he took the fall and like I spent 12 years and now like and honestly, it's a really good deal if you have 12 years to spare and like because in 12 years I'm not making $5 million. How much Jay-Z is gonna pay this guy out? So it's like maybe you take a 12-year vacation, read a little bit, write a little bit.
I've heard prison is known as a vacation.
Do some of that like banging thing where you're kind of rapping, but you're like, and then like
I'm sure that's gonna sound great.
And then there's another guy playing his chest in the other cell, and then
this guy got the spoon on the bars.
And the other guy's like, angel baby, and then it's about angels, and then
the guards kick the shit out of you.
Eat white bread with fucking slop on it.
Yeah. So my favorite
and you
comment.
Get $5 million. That's not bad.
My favorite comment on that is, guy's gonna get some killer advice.
Oh yes.
Classic.
I mean, that's pretty crazy to I don't know what happened to the guy who had the domestic assault.
What do you mean? What happened to him?
Well, they named it after him, right? Kareem
Hunt.
Sensitivity training.
Well, no, they didn't name it after him. When NFL players get in trouble, they have to go to sensitivity training, and it's basically just like another thing to like.
It's like AA for like people who have bad tempers.
Yeah, exactly.
Steroids.
So then, also to add on top of this, since we do tend to talk about our Florida men quite a bit, sent to me by many people who have listened because we tend to, not intentionally, but it just kind of winds up that we talk about Florida people.
It's widely known.
I'm sure by now everybody is far more aware of the whole Florida man thing, where you type in Florida man and your birthday.
Yeah.
Have you looked yours up?
No, I didn't actually.
I tried to look mine up, and the only thing I found were articles about the whole like Florida man challenge thing. So I'm going to look up right now. I'm going to read what it says for me. You should do the same.
Do I have to look up the year too?
No.
Florida man uses Instagram to lure teen across state lines and assault her. That's not fun. Why do I have a bad one?
I don't think they're good ones.
This one's not fun. And then okay. I think I got.
Mine's good.
No.
Mine's very good.
Okay. Shit.
Naked Florida man steals swan statue.
Stop looking at me, swan.
I'm looking at the swan, and I'd steal it. I don't know if I'd be naked, but this guy had the opposite idea of like covering every inch of your body so they can't identify you. He went the other way with just being completely naked. But yeah, good job, Ronald Thompson.
Sometimes that sounds like a name of a guy who would steal a swan statue naked. I don't know where the swan statue is. I don't know why he's naked, but 2 thumbs up.
It's a beautiful statue.
Ronald. Anyway, I think you're caught up on all this weird news, and we should probably get into some weird stories for you. So Let's do that. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about... Last week I did 3 different World War II stories. This week I thought I'd go for the same theme of smaller stories, but I chose a very different theme. The theme I chose was magicians.
Ooh.
But magician accidents.
Okay.
So I'm going to be telling you, I think it's 4 separate little stories. They're pretty quick.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Does one involve trying to throw lighter fluid on a neighbor and failing to light it?
No.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That one is an impeccable. That was not even an accident. That was okay. It was
the accident was not lighting them on fire.
That's true. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, go listen to our Tales from the Camp. Jesus Christ!
Sorry,
David.
I was trying to pull my phone to see what the episode it was.
It was Tales from the Camp. Episode 3 is called Richard the Little Magician, and my roommate.
No, it wasn't Tales from the Camp.
Yes, it was.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it wasn't. No, it was. And anyway, Richard the Little Magician. My ex roommate Kyle tells an amazing story about.
Putting ex roommate on there breaks my heart.
It hurts.
Miss you, Kyle.
It hurts. But yeah, so check that out. It's about his neighbor who was a magician and absolutely insane. And we don't want to tell you any more spoilers, but it's one of the best stories I think I've ever heard. It's so great.
So yeah, that's like episode 26 and a half since we don't number. So it's in between 26 and 27. So it's fairly recent.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about.
It's called Richard the Little Magician. But no, these are magicians who have a little bit more validity, and they were at least one time considered magicians, and are maybe no longer with us.
If I do one trick, can I call myself a magician?
I think you gotta get certified, kind of like a clown.
Okay. There's a certification.
You can put on face makeup and a nose, but you're not a clown until you like you gotta like pass a class or something, right?
Is there like a website I can go in and do like a 3-question survey and then get certified, like being able to marry people?
I don't know, like an online clown college.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, maybe. So okay, so I'll get into this first story. Like I said, some of these magicians don't survive, and there are more than you would think. But I chose the 3 that I thought were the most interesting. So the first one is about Charles Rowan and his speeding car. So Charles Rowan, also known in the 1930s as Carr the Magician, it's Karr. So
okay.
It's kind of a play on words, I guess. I don't know if all of his stunts involved cars, but this one definitely did.
Okay.
And he performed a stunt that crucially required impeccable timing. So Charles would be strapped into a straitjacket and have a car traveling at 45 miles per hour drive straight at him from 200 yards away.
Okay.
I don't know how much time I didn't do the math to figure out how much time.
How fast were they going?
45 miles per hour at 200 yards away. That's 2 football fields. 45 miles per hour. And
that's probably pretty quick.
Yeah, and you know what the thing is? I'd say like 20 seconds max.
I think less than, I would say 15 or less.
Well, I don't know if he starts at 45 from it's not a Tesla in 1930. So like maybe he starts 200 yards away and gasses it and then like maxes out at 45.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, 45 miles per hour seems really fast, like when you're outside of a car.
Oh, yeah.
But when you're inside of a car, it seems like nothing. You're like, I'm going so slow right now. But then, like, you ever gone like 15 in a car and then 15 on a scooter, and you're like, oh shit, I'm hauling ass right now.
Oh, yeah.
So 45 is pretty fast, and so the idea was that he would escape a moment before being struck by the car. He had successfully performed the death-defying trick several times before, but on this day, he was just a little too slow, and he escaped just a fraction of a second too late and was struck by the right wheel of the car, knocking him askew with the momentum and severing one of his legs.
Yeah.
It knocked off his leg.
He's lucky his fucking stomach didn't rip out.
Well, I know, like, honestly, I mean, well, here's the thing. He bled out and died in front of a huge family crowd right then and there. But luckily for the driver that was driving the car, Rowan wrote a letter and exonerated the driver in the case something went wrong. So the driver was like, but that's the thing, like, there's a really fine line between, like, continuing with the trick that, like, it's, most of these stories I read, you're like, oh, we don't know when the trick's over and when there's danger and when it's still going. You know what I mean? Like
they're like, oh, he's going to put his leg back on. He's going to be fine.
Okay, no, I didn't.
All the blood's going to seep right back
Gene
into
Parmesan.
him. Yeah.
It's a fake arm? No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the thing is, though, there's another story I read, which is not in here, which I'll just be like, tag onto this because it's interesting, of a guy who was like, I want to bury myself alive on Halloween because Harry Houdini did it, and he backed out because he got really scared. So he's like, I'm going to bury myself alive. He did it with dirt one time, and then this time he goes, you know what? His name like John the Incredible or something, John the Amazing. And he's like, I'm going to bury myself alive. He's like, put dirt on, but also I'm going to put cement on top of the dirt, so it's like even more risky. So
I mean, I'm sure you could time that out and just be like, I have, X amount of time to get out of here before the cement dries. So
yeah, exactly. Just add a little bit more things. So, but the guy, he was kind of like so eager to do it. He didn't really care. He did it on Halloween, the birthday and death date of Harry Houdini. And he did it with dirt already successfully. So he's like, I'm going to do it like in front of my kids and everybody. And when they poured it on, he was in a a plastic like see-through box when they buried him, and he was handcuffed a bunch. And they have video of them pouring all the dirt on. There's a shit ton of dirt, and then they're dumping the cement, and they're kind of like laying it even. And then all of a sudden, you just see the cement and the dirt fall about 2 feet.
Oof.
And he didn't account,
too much weight.
He didn't account for the weight change with the
I'll
cement,
getcha.
and it collapsed. And like it was already like chunky. Like the guys were all like what I was getting to. The guys were all standing around for no joke 30 seconds, being like, "This is part of his trick." He opened the crate and it fell through, and now he's climbing to the top. So they're all waiting 30 seconds, and then one guy goes like, get him out, and then everyone starts digging. It took them, I don't know how long it took them to get to him, but he was dead by the time they got to him. Oof. And his kids were watching, his wife, his family members, a giant crowd. I'm just like, what the, like, you don't know when to jump in with the magic trick because you need like a safe word. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like I was saying, I mean, I didn't say this, but I worked on a show called Death by Magic for like Netflix for like, I was like a PA for like a week. And the idea of the show was that the guy would recreate stunts that, you know, would like people have died doing. Like some guy hanged himself by accident and he meant to like get out of the news. And so apparently this happens to a lot of people where they die by accident. And one guy was being hanged and everyone was like clapping and like they thought he was like getting out of it, but he was just like strangled to death, and everyone just watched him get strangled to death. And you're just like, what the
I remember
fuck?
recently here in LA, the Magic Castle, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
A guy hung himself there.
What?
Yeah, this was probably like
purposefully or an accident?
Well, that was the thing. No one knew if it was him practicing a trick or if he was purposely killing himself.
Oh. What did he do in front of people?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Well, I'm guessing he was a magician.
Yeah.
Does Neil Patrick Harris own the Magic Castle now?
Sounds right. I don't know.
For those of you who don't know, the Magic Castle is a building in Hollywood that is like a castle up, like right, like a block or two up from the Hollywood Walk of Fame, where like Grauman's Chinese Theater, where all like the handprints are. And it's a castle where you can only be invited into it. You need an invite only, and then you can walk into different rooms. And there's like a bunch of magicians, and they're doing like these crazy tricks. And I don't know, it's like supposed to be really cool.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go there, and I passed.
Oh my fucking God, I wanted to go so bad.
I didn't realize that you had to be invited to it and shit. Like, I thought it was just like, oh, like, you could go whenever. So I was like, like, I'm good.
No, the guy we went to the Magic Castle, like, outside of it with the guy that I did Death by Magic with. And I was, like, asking him, like, so, like, how do I get in there? He's like, oh, it's like, he had, like, an accent. He's like, oh, it's like invite only. Like, yeah, you have to get invite. I don't even get in there all the time. And, like, but he had a Netflix show. So, like, fucking hook it up, dude. Come on.
Yeah, for real.
So, let's get into this next one. Because I just kind of went off on a little tangent there. But it's all magic related, so it's fine.
Yeah.
This next one is probably one of my favorites.
Okay.
Okay. So, back in 1918, William Ellsworth Robinson was a turn-of-the-century vaudeville veteran who achieved tremendous fame and success in Europe by pretending to be an established Chinese performer named Chung Ling Su. Robinson professed to speak no English and used an interpreter at all times during his act, and he was a white guy.
Okay.
So it's like classic, like yellow face, fucked up. Like,
was he taping his eyes?
I don't know. I saw a picture of him. He had like a top ponytail knot type thing, like the
classic,
like caricature. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like you see it on like a lot of pottery and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and this is also 1918, so it's a long time ago. And at a performance in London on March 23rd. Oh, that's 2 days ago.
No.
Oh wow. And 1918, so yeah, 101 years.
Yeah, whatever.
Look at that. So, on that day, March 23rd, Robinson messed up his version of the bullet catch trick. He would have two assistants fire guns at him, and he would catch both bullets. Each of the guns had two barrels, one with a live bullet, and the other with a blank in it to promote realism in his trick called Condemned to Death by the Boxers. Robinson did not take the time to perform cleaning and regular maintenance on his guns, and the gunpowder buildup in the ramrod tube of one lit, firing the real bullet into him rather than the blank. He broke character because he said, I only speak. No, he didn't say this, but he was like, like his interpreter's like, oh, he only speaks Chinese.
Was it like fake Chinese or was it like a
Yeah,
really
he
like?
spoke like jibber jabber Chinese.
Okay.
It was like fake Chinese, and it was
Yeah.
like even more offensive.
Yeah.
And he only used an interpreter to like say like what was going on. And when he got shot, he broke character and he and he yelled,
Oh fuck.
He yelled, "Oh my God, something happened! Lower the curtain! I've been shot!" And he
Oh my
died
God.
the next day. That's so funny to think about. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say anybody deserves to die, but
well, I mean, he probably didn't think it was like a big deal at the time. Like a lot of those guys were just like, "Oh, it's just like a funny comedy act," Like, but it's just so insane.
I wonder how many people laughed thinking it was like a comedy thing, like in the crowd.
That's the thing. God, see, you keep making me bring up these other side stories that I didn't put in here. But there's another English magician / comedian who died on stage of a heart attack, and there's a video online, and you can watch it. It's not like violent or graphic or anything, but he's talking, and then he kind of like slowly stops talking, and he kind of falls down, and he like falls on his ass, and then slumps over. And the camera stayed on him for like 10 seconds, and he's like breathing really heavily, like having a heart attack, and everyone's laughing, and then like the laughter dies down, and then it comes back up again, and then it dies down, and then it goes, "We'll be right back after these messages," and it does like a pan out with like the sponsor or whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh my God, and the guy just like died.
You gotta hate to be that sponsor.
Yeah, and exactly. Mentaliptus.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Johnson's Mentaliptus. So, I don't know. It's it was. That's the thing. I think people uncomfortable laugh and they think that it's like part of a joke or it's part of the act, and
Yeah,
it's fucking weird and fucked up. But yeah, it happens all the time. Like, not all the time.
you'd hope not.
It happens some of the time. So yeah, he died, and it was amazing because the bullet taught him how to speak English, and
It's a miracle.
it's a miracle. Anyway, so this next story is about a man named Washington Irving Bishop. And Bishop grew up in a spiritual family. His mother was a practicing medium, and as an adult, he worked for a psychic. But after which he set up trying to expose them and their tricks. He didn't believe in psychics at all. He eventually grew up he was exposing psychics and became a mentalist himself after like exposing like a bunch of them. But unlike the psychics he exposed, he professed to audiences that he had no supernatural powers, and he became incredibly successful using muscle reading, which involved holding the hand of an audience member and asking them a series of questions. He would feel acute muscle movements in their hands and perform accurate readings, which is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like, you just like feel like minor twitches, like when somebody like heard something kind of close or right, like they would probably like do an involuntary body movement, and
Yeah.
that's it. But it's wild, and it's cool that he made a profession off that, So I don't know. So
That's gotta be hard,
what?
making a profession off of that.
I mean, are you serious? Like,
I don't know.
Tony Robbins is like kind of. I'm not. I like Tony Robbins, whatever. But like, you can get like a bunch of people.
Love Tony Robbins.
I don't know. People will pay money if they feel like there's some kind of like weird hope thing involved or something. They're like, no, that kind of thing. So, on May 12th, 1889. Wow, that's actually a long time ago. While performing at the Lamb Club in New York City, he collapsed. Bishop suffered from catalepsy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I think it's catalepsy, which is a medical condition characterized by a trance or seizure with a loss of sensation and consciousness accompanied by rigidity of the body. It's similar to a coma.
Okay.
So he just like collapsed, went into this catalepsy. But he awoke a short time later and asked to finish the show, but immediately fell back into unconsciousness and eventually died. But they didn't know if he died or not. Since Bishop suffered from catalepsy, many people believe that he wasn't really dead.
Okay.
And some people, including Bishop's mother, believed that the autopsy is what actually killed him. How fucked up is that? That's like my worst nightmare. What was that movie with Hayden Christensen, where it was like Jessica Alba and Hayden Christensen?
Star Wars?
No.
Oh.
And And basically he went under for surgery, and this is like a real medical condition that some people have where under anesthesia they fall asleep but they can feel everything.
Yeah.
And the whole movie's about him feeling the surgery or something like that, and then he finds, I don't want to get into spoilers.
I don't remember that at all. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, that was like a movie back in the 2000s. And I mean, but that's like my worst nightmare is like, that's the main reason I don't want to, I mean, I'm an organ donor for sure, but there's a part of me that goes, I'm like kind of nervous that if I go into a coma, somebody's going to be like, hey, we should kill him like immediately because there's a guy waiting for his heart. And then I'm like one day away from waking up or some shit like that. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. But my heart's all fucked up anyway, so it's all black and icy, and many people, ex-girlfriends, say it's not even there.
What? Who says that?
I'm just kidding. I've never had an ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah?
No one ever like. What are you looking up? You looking up this movie over here?
Yeah, I got really curious about it.
Did you find it?
Was it before Jumper?
Oh God, yes, it was before Jumper. I mean, we don't.
Oh, it's probably called Awake.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I never saw it.
No, but it's crazy. But I don't think it was that great. But
it had a 7.5 out of 10 on
happened.
IMDb.
Yeah, there's like more of a twist to it, I believe. So, but yeah, so he died.
He was the doctor.
They believe that he was like, unconscious, and they just like cut him open.
Yeah.
Do you think that there should be like a thing where, when you're dead, they should like do a quick little like cow, like boom, like how they kill cows, where they put like a little, needle, little shot in your brain real quick to kill you? And
are you saying we should like confirm the death?
Yeah. Right?
No.
I mean, there's some people who you definitely know they're dead, but I don't know. This guy was kind of one of those cases.
I mean, fuck, if they're alive, they're alive.
I guess now you don't really have to do that. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
His arm's broken. Get the cattle gun.
Well, I'm just thinking about it because like now they can just hook you up to a machine and be like, oh, he has a heartbeat still.
Yeah.
But in the 1800s, that probably should have been a thing. But, oh my God, I keep going off on these tangents. Do you know Germans had rooms that were like heated that they kept bodies in for weeks after they died just to make sure they didn't wake up?
Heated rooms are really good for dead bodies.
I'm sorry. They weren't heated. They were cooled. They were heated or cooled. I forget what they're called, but they kept them in this room just in because people going into comas or getting sick and passing out for like days or weeks and then being pronounced dead and being buried alive was like a very common thing back then.
Yikes.
So they kept them in these rooms. They're called like something houses,
saunas,
like brew houses.
Brew house.
They weren't called brew houses. I'll look into it later, but let's get on to this next story. I got a tangent for every fucking one of these stories.
You do.
I swear to God. So this next one, this is a really close one. I mean, a really short one, not a close one, but it was a close one. Oh, maybe that was a Freudian slip. So this guy named Henry Howard, who sat in the audience of a magic show in Montreal in 1936, became agitated when stage magician named George Lalonde prepared to saw his assistant in half. The classic, I'm gonna put her in this box, cut her in half trick.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty. When you think of magician, that's one of the things you think of besides Rabbit in the Hat. Howard, in the audience, in a panic, rushed the stage, grabbed a prop sword with a slight edge, and plunged it into Lalonde's neck.
Okay.
So
sounds like a good idea.
He stabbed him in the neck.
Yeah.
But he perceived it as an act of heroism. Lalonde did survive, while Howard was arrested, confessing to the police, "I couldn't bear to see a woman cut into two." So he's just like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Who's like never been to a magic show, never seen a drawing of a magician in any way, and he just ran up and
no, not a beautiful woman.
No, that's exactly what I said. I say,
you're my beautiful woman. Cut the beautiful woman. We need the beautiful women.
I called him out of half.
You give me the bottom half.
No,
I don't. Where's this again? I don't know what accent I should be doing. I'm just doing something weird.
Montreal.
Oh. Hey. Sorry about that, but you can't cut her, huh? No, that's French. They're French in Montreal, aren't they?
I don't know, but they gotta accent it. Hey, man, I don't know.
Well, sorry about that cut in your neck, boy, but you just can't be cutting her in half, huh?
Hey, I'll tell you something.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, I just kind of like the ultimate nice guy move where he's like
The White Knight.
He probably knew that there was like no actual danger, but then after he stabbed the guy in the neck, he probably looked at her and was like, I did that for you.
And then the other girl comes out the other end, being like, "What the fuck just happened? I lost my job."
And he's like, oh my god, I got two of them.
Yeah. I'm taking them both home with me, eh?
Seriously, how fucking stupid is he?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're lucky that it was a prop sword. I mean, those aren't that sharp, but you know, they do the trick when you hit somebody in the neck enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my last story for the night. And this took place on July 11th, 1938. All these horrible tragedies happened back in like the 1930s or the late 80s.
You know, I think they were just there were a little less Marvel films and a lot more magicians back then.
And they actually believe like, oh, it's a wizard! Hit him in the neck! You know,
You see the fire fly out of his sleeve? My goodness.
And like also, it seems like they didn't really take into account like exact measurements and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
really eyeballed it.
This guy kind of eyeballed it in a weird way. He was a doctor. He was a dentist, actually, I believe. His name was Dr. Vivian Hensley, which is...
Okay.
That was a boy's name back then, I guess.
Yeah, why not?
So, don't assume his gender. But, I guess... back in 1938, I'm going to read you this article. Right? Okay.
The whole article, huh?
No, it was a newspaper article after he died, and it says, I mean, the opening line is just immaculate. You can't really get better than this, right?
Yep.
So it goes, after lying in a hospital for 4 days with a rusty safety razor blade in his stomach, Mr. Vivian Hensley, a Lewich dentist, died soon after 8 a.m.
A what dentist?
Lutwich. I believe that's the
town. Okay.
I think he's German.
I thought you were trying to say it was a type of dentist, and I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
Well, back then people had different teeth, so
he was a horse dentist.
They called them Lutwiches. You brush your Lutwiches tonight. So I'll continue with this article. It says it's insane how this happened. Yesterday, last Wednesday. What the fuck was this? Why does it say that? What day is this?
I'm so confused.
I don't know. Yesterday, last Wednesday, tomorrow, and today. This all happened. So last Wednesday morning, he accidentally swallowed the blade while amusing his wife and son with sleight of hand tricks. So I guess this guy wasn't technically a magician. He was more of a dentist who dabbled in magic.
I mean, that's the type of dentist I want. One that's gonna do some magic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're gonna really want this. You're gonna really want this dentist when you find out what his sleight of hand trick is. And so he was, showing his wife and son, including what he called his sword swallowing act in this trick. Mr. Hensley, who was a clever amateur entertainer, would palm a razor blade, pretend to throw it into his open mouth, and slip the blade into his coat sleeve at the same time, chewing and swallowing vigorously. He would complete the trick by passing his hand before his mouth and producing the blade quickly from his sleeve. However, on Wednesday, the blade slipped from his palm and flew into the back of his throat, causing him to swallow involuntarily. So he just tossed a razor blade in the back of his throat.
Oh, no, this is not good.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
This is not good.
It's the same guy. So, just like a nice little pill pop, he tossed his head back. I have a problem swallowing pills sometimes. Like I need to do like the water and like the head tilt back. Some people could do it with no water, no head tilt.
Ugh.
This guy just like tossing razor blades and swallowing them immediately.
You'd think maybe you'd dole it down, but at the same time, I don't think doling it down would help much in this situation.
No. I mean, I don't think he ever thought it would go into his mouth.
I'm sorry. If I'm doing tricks where I'm pretending to eat a razor blade, I'm going to dole that motherfucker. No way.
Anyway, this is great, too. I feel super bad for this guy because just trying to make people happy, but you know, you don't do some trick.
Like the saddest job in the world.
He could have, yeah, exactly.
Doesn't have the highest suicide rate.
Yeah, it does. That's sad.
No.
But don't be. maybe he was trying to kill himself. So, Mr. Hensley immediately took. Miss Hensley immediately took her husband to a doctor who fed him. Get this, cotton balls.
Yeah.
The whole way there.
It's gonna cushion the blade.
Exactly. I think that's what she
Honey, it's
thought.
gonna cushion the blade.
Which is like not a technically bad idea. Maybe it would like form a. I don't know. Fuck, man. He's
I am
already swallowed
pretty
a
sure-
razor blade. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
I mean, I would at least try to have a good meal first.
What? Like, oh, like you're eating anything to make that thing move? Like, I don't know.
Oh, I think the deed's done. I don't think there's much saving at that point.
Well, I think
and
I think
any stomach acid is gonna demolish a cotton ball.
true, but at the same time, if you start eating a lot, I feel like your digestive system starts working quicker, which means that the blade starts moving further down your system, which means more cutting. And I think they probably wanted to stay as stationary as possible.
I would have started drinking eye drops.
No, you'll shit. I mean, I don't think they had eye drops in 38, but I mean,
Whatever makes you puke. I don't know.
oh, that's like Epicac. Yeah, but that's coming up. That's still like razor blade cutting up your like. That's even more dangerous. I feel like.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, man. So it's a shitty situation.
Eat a lot of bubble gum. Get it stuck right where it is.
Hey, 7 years in there. At least he doesn't have to deal with it for 7 years.
So one time when I was like, 5, I had this candy cane shaped thing that was like, I was 5. I would guess it was probably like a foot or so long, and there's like these marshmallow things that I thought were just marshmallows, and I ate all of them, and it turned out it was gum.
Oh fuck! You just swallowed them all.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, it doesn't stay in your system for 7 years. That's a myth.
I mean, even if it was, it's gone now. But yeah, I remember that being like an oh shit moment, and I was
Damn,
really scared.
you probably had some sticky poops.
Big time.
So, so this guy, he had some soft poops because all he's eating is cotton balls at this point, and they sent him to General Hospital by ambulance. And according to the General Hospital authorities, Mr. Hensley told doctors that he did not feel any pain when he swallowed the blade. He was admitted to the hospital on Wednesday morning. An X-ray examination was made in the afternoon, and an operation performed early on Wednesday night was made, and the blade, however, had shifted in the 2 hours between the X-ray examination and the operation, and it could not be located, and he died 4 days later. So they took an X-ray. Obviously, X-rays are not like that, in abundance then.
Yeah.
And they took the X-ray. They checked. They go, okay, we know what it is. They cut him open, and they go, fuck, it's not there anymore.
It moved.
So they're like,
Yeah, they should have just thrown a magnet down there.
honestly, kind of like not a. I don't know what they're made out of. I don't know what razor blades are made out of. Like, are they magnetic?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well,
I doubt they demagnetized them before.
Here's the thing. That just means that they sewed him back up with the razor blade. I'd feel like, okay, we're already in here. Do we just start cutting around and looking? Or do we sew him back up, try to do another X-ray, and now, I don't know.
I feel like you'd keep cutting them up. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I would try to do at least a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's the end of my story. Moral of the story is either don't be a magician, don't swallow razor blades, don't try to jump in front of cars, do swing swords at people's necks if you think you're going to get a 2 girls out of it.
Heyo. Do you know any magicians like from our generation? I can't think of
David
one.
Blaine.
No.
Oh, you mean like
Do you know anyone that you've like known for a long time that was a magician?
personally?
Yeah.
No.
I can't think of anyone. I'm fucking from Eugene, Oregon.
I feel like magicians are a dying breed.
They are. Should we get into it?
I feel like there's an untapped market.
Yeah. With all the technology we have now.
The only problem is a lot of the tricks. I mean, I know it's all fake, whatever.
Whoa, okay.
But like the sleight of hand stuff is getting lazier.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I'm not going to say any spoilers, but on that magic show I watched. Oh shit, is there an NDA? I can't talk about this.
No, you can't.
Well, let's just say
Is it out yet?
Yeah, it's out. I'm in the background of one of the shots.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like at a bar pretending to drink by myself. It's like a gin and tonic. They're like, we need people
Pretending that's what you do every week.
No, fuck you, bitch. No, they gave me like seltzer water and a lime, and they're like, sit there and pretend like you're on.
Yeah,
your
you
phone.
can't drink on set.
And they were like doing stuff. okay, no one's gonna listen to this, right?
I wouldn't.
Okay, I won't.
I wouldn't.
But
NDAs are not to fuck with.
yeah, let's just say it's not all kosher, but whatever. I mean, you guys kind of knew that, but they did it in ways that I'm like,
okay, the purpose of magic now is like trying to figure out how they did it. So like no one thinks they're like fucking went to Hogwarts.
It wasn't sleight of hand. It was like misdirection in a fucking lame ass way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh bull. I was like watching. I was like,
you're in the background.
Fuck?
Bullshit. They're like, you're not even drunk. That's not real liquor.
I just want to
fuck you.
I just want to go turn around, turn around, turn around, and then they'll be like, I don't know.
Don't get sued now.
I'm sorry.
We both know you can't handle that.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. All right.
Oh, you want to take $13 from a guy? Cool. Good on you.
That's all you got. That's all you're gonna get from me, huh?
Okay. You go.
Next week, it's like 2 random people from their corporate doing the podcast because this is what we lost out of it.
Some guy from Netflix shows up and hits me in the neck with a fucking sword. He's like, payment is received.
All right. Yeah. My turn?
Yep.
You want to talk about some caves?
Dude, you got a cave?
I got a cave story.
Oh, shit, boy.
And I know we have shared a few cave stories on our beautiful program here.
We got Sonny Bean, and we got...
the cannibal that lived in the cave.
That's Sonny Bean. And
okay.
And then we got flipped upside down guy.
Yeah, and then we also had the Gaurau lived in a cave, technically.
Gaurau, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other caves that we just can't really think of at the moment. I don't know. But, so this one has something very special and dear, possibly lurking in it.
Ooh.
To me. So,
near and dear to you lurking in it?
No, something very near and dear to
wife?
me lurking in it.
That's what I'm saying.
My wife. Get it?
The worst joke
You guys
ever.
get it?
Remember Borat?
You guys remember that? My wife. So, this cave is located in Vellecito, California.
Oh, beautiful.
Have you been?
Nope.
Well, okay, so it's about 3 hours from San Francisco. You ever heard of that?
I'm from up there.
Yeah.
Okay, which way?
Inland.
You
East.
cannot go
East.
Okay.
East from San Fran.
Okay. So okay, I get that.
Yeah, so this cave sits in the heart of Gold Country.
Gold County.
I wasn't sure if that was a thing. So yeah, Gold Country.
I took a field trip up to those
It's a Gold County or Gold Country.
Those parts, county
it's a Gold Country.
Country. It depends how far the gold goes.
The gold nipper. Don't you know?
Okay, so keep going with this fucking story before I hit you in the head with an axe. I mean, a sword. I mean, I was just turning to death threats. I'm like, hey, we keep going before I strangle you to death, bitch.
And hide your body out back, huh? How would that feel?
You ever been buried in a cave?
What do you think about that? The cave we're talking about here was discovered by gold miners in 1851, but has long been known as an interesting geological feature by prehistoric peoples. I don't know what that means. That's just what it said, so I wrote it because I know how to word it my own way. But prehistoric people, so I'm guessing like it's,
It's people before history.
Yeah, of course.
Like when no one had stuff to write down anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they...
So what's the name of this cave, huh? What do you think, huh?
Puchunuju.
It is the one and only Moaning Caverns.
Oh, okay, I see what this cave's for. I get it.
Have you ever heard of this one?
Have I heard of it?
Have you not?
No, I haven't.
So, as you could imagine, this cave, when you're near the cave, you can hear it making a sound that echoes all throughout, the entire cave itself and the opening. So you can hear it from outside of it. And it sounds like someone is moaning.
Like a good moan or a bad moan? Moaning's a word that I feel like could go either way.
Good or bad. Good moan, bad moan. Happy tissues, sad tissues.
What's it? Those happy tissues? Wait, what's the definition of moan? Can you look that up?
The definition of moan?
I want to see if there's like a negative connotation or a positive connotation on it. I'm not really sure because people use it a lot in either one.
The definition is a long, low sound made by a person expressing physical or mental suffering or sexual pleasure.
See, exactly. It's both.
Yeah. Could be both.
Sometimes it's both if you work it the right way.
Oh, it hurts, but it feels good.
I want to die, but I also want to live.
It stings, it stings, it stings, but I love life.
But it's sweet.
So the sound itself could lure people into the cave. Because it's,
Depending on which one it is.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, okay, you could hear,
True.
the anguish and be like, oh, someone's hurt, they need help.
True that.
So what's
Or
making...
the sexual, and then you're like...
I gotta see this.
I gotta see this!
Boy, I gotta see this.
Whoa, she sounds sexy.
Well, now I'm kind of regretting because I didn't even look up, if there's a video of the sounds. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm just now realizing I didn't, want to hear what it sounded like.
How about this? If we find the video of the sounds, we will put it in right here. Okay, I don't know if we found any videos of the sounds, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm no
if we
computer
did,
scientist.
that was that. That was
Yeah.
the sound, but
Yeah.
if we didn't, we didn't.
So, but what's making all this noise, huh? What do you think, huh?
A sexy woman or an injured dog.
Sometimes that's one and the same, baby.
Or a sexy dog and an injured woman.
Yeah. So the Moaning Caverns is also an archaeological site, and it's where some of the oldest human remains known in America were discovered.
Whoa.
Yeah. According to Phil C. Orr, an archaeologist, the human deposits are around 12,000 years old.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm confused, because I thought the Earth was only 2,000 years old.
Okay.
And they were found, 420 millimeters deep. 420 millimeters. Which I had to Google, which is only a foot, 1.3 feet deep.
But they're deep in the cave?
Yeah.
Do you think that primal man, woman, ape, whatever, do you think that it acted very similar to how dogs act when they're about to die? Where they
burned a bunch of bush at 420?
No.
Oh.
They crawl deep in a secluded place and then they go to die there? Or do you think that these people were buried?
That's a good question.
Because I don't think they had burial back then. I don't think that was
I don't think so.
A standard, a custom.
Well, I mean, at one point it's you would think they would, because dead bodies.
But they're not deep in the ground.
They don't smell good.
That's one of the reasons they bury them. But
yeah.
But also they're not deep in the ground. They're only 420 millimeters deep.
Yeah, so it's 1.3 feet deep.
Yeah, that's not deep at all. I bet that's just residual mud that just went over them. But
well, so that's what's interesting to me about caves, is that they are so protected and secluded that remains like that just naturally get covered, and over 12,000 years it was buried less than a foot and a half.
It's crazy. Is that cave hard to get to or something like that? Because
I don't know.
I'm surprised nobody's gone that deep inside it to find these remains. Or maybe you just, once you're in a cave, the last thing you're thinking of is, let me dig. You're probably just can I see?
Yeah.
So,
it is a tourist spot now. You can go.
Now it is, yeah, for sure.
Well, the oldest bones we got in there are not the only bones that we found in the Moaning Caverns.
Oh, shit.
Many other remains have been found that date much sooner to us now than 12,000 years ago.
In the 80s?
I couldn't find anything. The initial article I read said they found other remains, but I couldn't find dates on how recent, which it kind of infuriated me a little bit. I screamed. My dog ran.
I screamed and I killed my neighbor and I brought him to the cave and I drove to Rio.
And I said, now this body's found
and I hit him in the neck with a sword.
2019.
and I buried him and then I dug him up and I said, look what I found. And now I'm famous.
So along with the haunting moans, it is said that at times you could hear the sounds of pickaxes clanking against the rocks.
49ers, okay.
But what could that mean? Is it possible that there are ghosts of old gold miners that are still in this massive cave system looking for gold? Could it be the ancient people from, a buttload time ago?
Oh.
But
I love that time ago.
Yeah, buttload. So there are other reasons to the sound aside from the possibility of hauntings from people who have died in this cave.
Were those the reasons, or is there another reason?
There's other reasons.
Oh, shit. Because I was going to say...
You want to think maybe it's a little haunted?
Yeah, because pickaxe...
Lots of bones.
I believe pickaxe. I don't believe these original people, because I don't think they have anything to... maybe like a rock on a rock.
Yeah,
Maybe. But I'm gonna go with pickaxe.
and at the same time, like, what would they be doing? Why would they be digging? Why would they be trying to crack open rocks?
Just hitting a rock on a rock. I mean, what did you do for fun back then? Rock on a rock?
I don't know. Kill animals, eat them. I don't think there was much fun back then.
You know what the weird thing is? Nowadays, we have too much fun. Back in the day, people were just, like, trying to survive. Now that's why we get bored. Nobody was bored back in the day. Everyone was just like...
They're happy to chase leaves in the wind.
That's kind of beautiful. In a weird way.
All right. So the Miwok Native Americans who lived in the area would tell their young children to stay away from the Moaning Caves because the caves lived in evil. This evil was the Yayali. Yayali.
Okay. I shouldn't let you pronounce words anymore.
It's hard.
Yayali.
A rock monster who would sit and moan all day and attempt to trick children into entering the cave where the Yayali would snatch them up and devour them.
Come on, all you horny kids, come here! Like, I mean, it's just so weird that there's, like, tried to trick the kids, and you're like, why did they try to trick the kids? They got
eat those little bitches.
They got horny Dave over there in the next village over. Like, the kids are terrified. Like,
Yeah.
It's the perverts. He's getting all the perverts right now. That big rock monster.
Yeah. So I want to think that it was more of a moan of like pain.
Okay. Oh, so like they're like, "Hey, Jimmy, you hurt?"
I think it'd just be like
everybody knows that Yayale. One of the most common names in the Yayale tribe was Jimmy.
Yes, Jimmy was a big Yayali.
Big name back then.
So it is speculated that this was just a cautionary tale that adults would tell their children to prevent them from entering the caves and falling to their deaths at the bottom of a drop-off because there was a deep fall.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, but
and
maybe...
we know what happens in caves. People die, people get stuck, people, you know.
And there was also human remains found at the end of like a steep fall.
Oh, that drop-off. There's like a common drop-off in there. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And obviously they didn't have fire? No, they had fire. They didn't have flashlights for sure.
Rock climbing gear.
They didn't have a candle, you know.
Yeah. So
they couldn't see shit, so they probably walked off a drop-off every day.
Yeah. So there's our first two there, haunted by people who have died, you know, maybe looking for gold or whatever.
Fair.
And then the Yayali.
That's
and
fair,
then,
too. Big rock monster. Wait, that's the name of the monster or the tribe?
The monster.
Oh, shit. Okay,
Yeah.
I called them the Yayali tribe.
No. I mean, maybe they have tribes in there, but I think it was a singular monster.
Okay, so it just went after any Native Americans. It didn't go after...
I don't think it went after any Native Americans. I think it went after anything that had flesh and would walk in there. Like, I think it just ate things.
Okay, fair.
A deer walks in, devoured.
Hey, all-inclusive. This rock monster does not discriminate.
No. But you gotta say, children taste better.
Civil. I watched the Michael Jackson. Okay, we're not. Was it Michael Jackson in the cave? Was it Michael Jackson in the cave?
No more Michael Jackson. No more Michael Jackson. No more Michael Jackson.
Okay, we're done.
So then the third option, which is my personal favorite, is so Tobin, we've established that there's great belief that there was gold in this cave. So I ask you, who or what loves gold? I think there's two pretty solid answers to this one.
Electricians. Very highly conductive. Okay, what loves gold? What loves gold? Goblins. Oh, shit. Yeah, wait. Lord of the Rings. Dragons.
That's one, which I was thinking, like, maybe there's a dragon in there, but that's not the one that I found.
Okay, don't dwarves love... if you guys have seen The Hobbit, they love...
mining.
Treasures just as much of... Yeah, exactly. Just as much as dragons. So,
you're close.
Okay,
you're in the ballpark.
Goblins, gnomes?
You're in the ballpark.
I only know trolls, gnomes, dwarves,
think a little more festive.
Fairies, festive. Elves.
You're getting close.
That's festive as it gets. That's Christmas. Help me out here.
Leprechauns.
That's my birthday.
Yeah, that's why I thought you'd figure this shit out.
Oh, man. They do love... But see, the thing is that they love gold, but they already have so much. But they're greedy little bastards.
How do you get it? You know, you're not born with it.
That's true.
Maybe it's Maybelline. So, but we're not exactly.
Maybe it's make believe.
Maybe okay. We're not exactly talking about leprechauns themselves, but a distant brother of leprechauns called Eric. It's like the movie Elf. It's a human, but
Fred Claus, Eric.
So these creatures are called Tommyknockers.
I was so close with Eric. Holy shit! They knock you with the shillelagh right then. Right, your haggis and beans.
So Tommyknockers are also known as knockers, knackers. This is not in English. Bwaka, BWCA, or
Pumbaclot,
or Bucka.
Okay.
And so the American version of these is the Tommyknockers.
Okay.
They're a mythical creature from Welsh, Cornish, and Devon.
I don't know Devon.
Yeah, I don't either. Folklore. And they are described as a little person, 2 feet tall, with a big head, long arms, wrinkled face, and white whiskers.
Oh yeah, I'm picturing cat whiskers. He just means like a beard.
It just said whiskers.
He just got a beard.
I just said whiskers.
Okay.
And they are seen wearing tiny versions of standard miner's garb.
Oh, so they're kind of like the Seven Dwarves.
A little bit.
A little bit hi-ho. Up in there.
But these little fuckers are full of mischief, and one of their go-to moves is stealing miners' equipment and food.
Did you need this gas mask? Oh my god.
I'm gonna take this dynamite.
Do you know
and a ham sandwich.
Do you know that they used to send canaries into mines to check if the oxygen levels were
breathable?
Yeah, because there were I don't know what exact gas was.
It was
CO2?
carbon monoxide, I believe.
CO2 or carbon, not dioxide. Carbon monoxide. Yeah, poisoning. Yeah, carbon monoxide. Yeah. So they send canaries down there. So, do you think that they're just eating the canaries and there was never any carbon monoxide?
And there's just a buttload of gold down there?
They don't want them coming down.
No.
Don't come down here.
No. So in the 1920s, immigrant Welsh miners brought the tales of the knockers to the United States when they moved here for the untapped and newly found gold and silver mines.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So experienced miners that they were, the local men in the area would ask them if they had any family members that would come and help out with the work in the mines. And their responses would be along the lines of, I don't want to do an accent. I don't know a Welsh accent.
Come on. Welsh.
Is it like Irish?
Welsh is from Wales, obviously.
So it's close to Irish, right?
Yes, it's Wales, I believe, is right above Ireland, but it's not a part of Ireland. So I think you get away with like a hybrid British Irish accent. I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody from these areas.
We don't know any
We're
better.
ignorant. You're ignorant. You guys don't know.
No more Michael Jackson.
You're ignorant, though.
All right, I'm gonna get into this.
I want to hear what this accent. You better commit.
I'm gonna try. I'm not good at accents. I'm gonna break. I'm gonna crack. It's not even like a full sentence.
Do it.
Well, me cousin Jack over in Cornwall wouldst come. Could he pay his boat ride?
What the fuck did you just say?
So it's basically saying, well, my cousin Jack over in Cornwall, which is where they're from, would come. Could you pay for his boat ride? Being like, I'm not going to pay for his ride. If you pay for his boat ride, yeah, my cousin will come and help us mine, kind of thing. And they'd always say shit like that. So I don't know if it was like they were cheap and they're just like, if you pay for it, we'll get more people out here, but we're not going to do it.
Oh, okay. So you're saying the locals would say this?
No. The locals were trying to get the Welsh people and the Cornish people to come.
Oh, okay.
And so, because people would always say, me cousin Jack, because everybody had cousins named Jack for some reason, popular name.
Okay.
The immigrants, the Cornish immigrants, gained the nickname Cousin Jacks. That's what Americans called them,
Oh.
which I thought was interesting.
So it'd be like, I think that was by the way, spot on Welsh accent.
Thank you.
I loved it. I really did.
I didn't know what I was doing there.
But
I'm not an accent guy.
I think that was a way of them doubling their profits, or at least
They
getting
probably didn't
a
pay
little
him
bit
much.
more off the top. So you're like, hey, pay me Cousin Jack to come over here. They have the money. Cousin Jack never comes back over. It's kind of like a, like a wheel and deal type thing.
Oh, I didn't think of it that way.
I don't. Maybe I'm wrong,
Maybe.
but I think that was a way of like everyone's like, oh, me Cousin Jack, because that seems like a common thing where like it worked with one guy, and he's like, say your Cousin Jack wants to come, and they'll give you 40 doubloons.
Yeah.
Now they're pirates. I don't know why, but they're
Why not?
fucking pirates.
They love them gold. So yeah, these Cousin Jacks would refuse to enter new mines that hadn't been touched because they would say that the Knockers were already on duty. And quickly, Knockers would find a home in American folklore as Tommyknockers. And even lumberjacks would adopt the name when axes and saws and other equipment would go missing. And there is a good connection between these characters and the lumberjack thing and the Moaning Caverns, because when they would hear weird sounds, they would say, oh, that's the Tommyknockers.
Mm-hmm.
And so when trees would be like swaying and like creaking and moaning,
Ooh.
lumberjacks would be like, oh, that's the Tommyknockers, like get your tool, like hold your axe tight kind of thing.
I love that shit. I'm sorry, but like I love a little mystical folklore associated with everyday shit. I think it makes it so much more fun, and I feel like we've lost it a little bit. Or we've lost it a lot of bit, but it's just so fun to be like, oh, you hear that? Like that's like I love a nice little like. It's like old. Your grandpa would say that.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, you lost your. I don't know why it's Irish again, but like be like, oh, you lost your quarter. Oh, that's
Tommyknockers.
That's the top elf where he steals quarters in my house. He lives in the attic. We call him the top elf, and you're like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like, it almost makes you forget like how sad you are when you lose an axe or a quarter. You know what I mean? Where you're like, oh fuck, I lost my axe. You're like, oh, the Tommyknocker got it. It's like, it's kind of fun. At
the end of the day, it could have just been people stealing shit, and then they could have just been like, oh, that's the Tommyknocker.
I think it's misplacing shit, probably.
It's like a scapegoat for being like, oh, I'm an idiot. I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, it's a scapegoat for like everyday shit. Remember we talked about the Japanese where like they would misplace their shoes and be like, oh, it's the Domo Gigi or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they get up in the middle of the night and they walk around, and your shoes are little things at night that come alive. It's super fun, and I love it, and I love everything about it.
Yeah. So, like I was saying though, with the trees moaning and stuff, that's why people associate the Moaning Caverns with Tommyknockers, because they think that that's them making the noise.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's the full loop right there.
Okay.
So fun story. In 1956, a large mine was closed and sealed off, keeping anything or anyone from entering or leaving. But quickly after they sealed it off, by this time, 6th generation Cousin Jacks started a petition for the mine owners to reopen a path to allow the Tommyknockers to move on to other mines.
Whoa.
And the owners did.
Wait, what?
So they're like, you trapped the Tommyknockers in there. You need to let them out, and so they can move on to another cave and continue doing their job.
What
and they reopened it and let them all out. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of like they're a pest, but like it's not right to keep them trapped.
Whoa. Okay. So I have two questions. I mean, I have a statement and a question. One is like, shout outs to those guys. Like,
that's awesome
for the little man. But
yeah.
Okay. Another statement is like, that's crazy that somebody was like, hey, yeah, we're going to put money into this for like a superstition. You know what I mean? Like, maybe
it's a people pleaser.
Exactly. Maybe it's
makes you look good.
It's good PR.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
But the other thing is, what was I going to say? Oh, how did they create another route to the mine?
What do you mean?
Like,
well, they usually demo it and close it. And so they must have just like pulled some rocks out and let a path out. Probably not very big.
Okay.
No, it need to be 2 feet high.
I thought you were saying that they drilled into like a different part of the...
No, I think they
just made a slight opening for them to climb out.
Yeah, probably.
Still, really cool. Good PR.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they listen, and like it probably boosts morale. You know?
Oh, for sure.
So that's awesome. That's
really
very cool.
There's even a Tommyknockers brewery in Idaho Springs, Colorado.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
We should go there.
Yeah, I'm down to check out Colorado. So it gained its nickname because when they first started, the original patrons were prospectors and guys that worked in timber.
When the original brewery started?
Yeah.
Wow, is this that fucking old?
Yeah, it's an old one, and it still continues to operate and distributes nationally today. So we might even be able to find some in LA if we try to look it up.
Let's hit Amazon and try to find that shit.
Yeah.
Tommyknockers.
Yeah. So at the end of all this, which do you think it is? Is it ghosts of the many perished in the caverns moaning away for their, lost souls? Is it the rock monster, the Yayali? Or could it be the Tommyknockers moaning and scavenging away, stealing people's sunglasses and iPhones?
Honestly, there's a lot of good candidates on the table.
Yeah.
I'm going to go... Fuck, this is hard. I'm going to go Ghost third because ghosts are great. I love ghosts. But
they're not as unique as the other two.
I want to see a little something, you know? Second, I'm going to go Yee. Was it?
Yayali.
Yayali. I'm going to go Yayali because I do love a good rock monster, but at the same time, you don't really match up to my number one, which is a bunch of Tommyknockers.
Tommyknockers
who are probably drunk leprechauns stealing shit, wreaking havoc, making money. It's the American dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't like somebody, Yaya Lee, who just eating, being lazy, sitting back, come to me, I'm tricking you. Yeah. Tommyknockers are at it. They're Elon Musk.
Yeah, exactly.
They are Elon Musk.
So apparently there is a Stephen King book called The Tommyknockers.
Whoa.
And they made a film about it, but these appear to just be straight space monsters. I don't think it's the same thing, but there is a great cartoon drawing of a Tommyknocker. Which
we're gonna be posting that on Instagram for sure, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna need to see those in a second. I can't see them. I'm gonna peek over real quick. Let me see. Oh, that's porn. Oh wait, no, what is that?
Look at it, a little wizard, a wizard elf. Look at this.
Does he have a grocery bag?
He does not. That would be a what do you call those? The things that
a stick and bindle. Is that what like hobos had, where they tie a handkerchief to a stick?
No, he's got a sledgehammer and he's got one of those big metal carts that you would fill with rocks.
Like a mining cart.
Mine cart, yeah.
Okay, like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Hold on to your potato, Dr. Jones. That's a short round.
Is that racist yet?
I don't know. No one's really checked that one yet.
I feel like we should pull the race card on that one. That's racist.
He just kind of had a speech, and I don't know, man.
It was just really forced.
Don't take down short round. We need short round more than ever right now. We already got a guy who got shot with a bullet pretending to be Chinese. We don't need to take down short round.
I'm just saying I could edit it so that sound clip is earlier when we're talking about that guy, and you could look way worse than you are.
Don't do that, please.
But yeah, no, that's the end of my Moaning Caverns.
Wow. Did they ever find out what the exact moaning was? Was it shifting rocks, maybe?
I'm pretty sure it's just a tight wind path that makes it.
Oh, I mean, but we don't know, and that's the beauty of it.
You never know. Nothing's in cement.
No,
except for some sidewalks.
I don't think everyone ever said cement. I think they say stone. I like how you say cement, though. That was very. I'm trying
very
new age of you.
I'm trying to boost the American cement factories. Keep it in America.
Anyway, okay.
And it's fun to write things in cement.
It's true. Or put your face in it, Michael Scott. Anyway, okay. Well, I think that sums up all of our stories for today. Mm-hmm. We got magic. We got multiple monsters in a cave, whether it comes to I cannot get that. Was it Yayali and Tommyknockers and ghosts, and yeah, we love it all. It's great. You know, we got a lot of weird stories for you today, and we glad you like them. We don't even know if you like them.
We glad. Us? Yeah, we glad.
Oh man, I can't never mind here. You was special. Was that movie? We don't know what that movie is.
What?
I don't know. Is that like Precious or something? Or
I never saw Precious.
Oh, the Help.
Never saw The Help.
You was important. I should stop. Anyway, okay. So it was a quote from a movie, but we're glad you liked it, and we don't know if you did, but we hope you did. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. We got all the hyperlinks on our website, Instagram. We'll post all these pictures on Instagram. You can see your little Tommyknockers and some of these beautiful dead magicians, and we got we're gonna do it again, aren't we?
Are we?
Well, first up, we got merch.
We got unscented candles.
Okay. I wasn't ready. You were ready for that. We got frisbees. What, just frisbees? That's it. I'm going to start off slow, man.
What type of frisbee? Come on.
You're not ready, fucker.
I'm not ready.
You're not. We got...
light bulbs.
We got...
I'm trying not to name everything I can just see. I'm trying to keep it fresh. I mean, I can look at everything and just be like, oh, we got wine.
Tamagotchis.
Oh, those are sick.
Mm-hmm.
We got belt buckles that are bottle openers.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
We got beanbag chairs the size of Texas.
We got machetes.
We got machetes.
Was that your...
Yeah.
You're just going to say mine but
okay,
with an accent?
I'll do an AKA. We got 5'4" Danny Trejos.
5'4" Danny... Is that how tall he is?
I think he's only like 5'4".
Whoa. We got boots that have 3 inches on them, so you look like you're 6 foot.
Okay, last thing. Okay, we'll end it there. But do you guys? Okay, I heard this, and I think this is very true. Danny Trejo does not like memorize his own lines when he's in movies and stuff like that. They write it on cue cards and they hold it up for him.
I don't doubt it.
I don't doubt it either because I mean,
That's probably why he doesn't have many lines.
No, yeah, he's kind of just like, hey. I feel like he just has a lot of haze and a lot of like thumbs up and a lot of like wrestling people who are also.
He's 5'6".
Okay, still not tall. I mean,
holy shit, Danny Glover is 6'4". Sorry.
Okay, we can't. This can't be it. Okay, we got Danny Glover's against Danny Trejos. Tune in this weekend for the fight of the century.
I'd watch it.
I'd definitely watch that. Definitely. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love it when you guys do, and we hope you guys enjoyed all those stories. We got new episodes every Friday, blah, 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 blah. Cool. David, you got anything to say? You got anything to plug? Did we miss anything? Rate, review, subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah, share the love. I mean, if you think you know someone that might like this show, show it to them. And if you think you know someone that doesn't like this show it to them anyways.
And then be like, you like this? And then be like, oh, this episode's not that good. And then be like, the other ones are good. And you show them another one.
And you just go through all of them and you listen to every episode.
And we get an extra view
Yep.
on all of them.
And we win. Gary, do you have anything? Gary's got his pant legs and his sleeves rolled up because he's ready for summer.
Is it breakfast yet?
No, Gary, it's not.
It's not breakfast yet.
Keep oiling your rifle, son.
Oh, fuck!
Hey, we talked about this, Gary.
Sorry.
Language.
Gary, come on, man.
But yeah,
Sorry.
no, we're good.
I'm raising them bad over here. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love all you guys, and we love you guys listening to us. And we should wrap this out with a don't forget to stay strange.